All right, everybody, welcome back. Third time this week, consistent uploads, breaking down the pools for Birmingham. Man, as it gets closer, as the event gets closer, we get closer to that start time on Friday. I just get more and more hyped. I cannot wait. Feel like it's been forever since I've seen good Call of Duty, even though it hasn't been that long. This is some of the closest back-to-back events that we've had in a while. But I don't know, man. I'm just addicted right now. I love it. With that said, we're going to start breaking down the Pool C group, or the Pool C teams, rather, sorry, for Birmingham, which is Optic Gaming, Team Envious, Reckless, which is the old era roster, that is Ricky, Pharaoh, Decimate, and Blast, and also EG, Apathy, Enable, Nameless, and Aches, for anyone who doesn't know. Now that that's established, yeah, we're just going to dive right in. So this is another event where I don't really know what to think about Optic. They've looked a little strange ever since Dallas. We haven't really known what to expect from them. This time especially so, because they're changing things up. They're going back to the lineup that I thought they should have been using, with Formal running that main AR spot, Crim and Karma kind of floating, Karma especially doing some flex, AR sub work depending on what they need. And I'm here for that, absolutely. At the beginning of the game, they looked really good online, and then they struggle a little bit at the winners bracket in NOLA, and then back-to-back 3-0s or whatever. Atlanta, they finished 5th and 6th. E United finished in that same slot with them. Not the greatest, but it could be worse, but something's clearly not clicking when you have people that are this good, and they're not winning events. And you can see it. I don't know how many of you guys watch Vision, but during that the segment on the COD team this week, Hitch did a great job of highlighting exactly how much of a letdown the start of the season has been, and the frustrations that the players have had, especially Crim6. You know that guy loves winning, so does Formal, so does Scump, so does Karma, but Crim right now is the one that just seems so ready to change things and ready to get back on top, and I think that's going to be a good look for the guys. And I think they'll be okay. They might have a little bit of a slow start at this event. Maybe they won't. Maybe they're motivated, but if I had to guess, they'll play okay in pool play and then once again struggle early, but I think they'll be all right. It's going to be hard, though. If everyone's switching roles, if everyone's doing something new, it's going to be something to keep your eye on. I still have them finishing in the top 2 in this pool. I think them and Envy are the easy picks for that. Especially if you look overall, they've placed 3rd, 9th through 12th, 5th through 6th. I don't know exactly. I don't remember where they technically fall in those places. I mean, other than 3rd. But I don't know who they determined or how they determined who got 9th, who got 10th, whatever. But they just know that that's all the same cash, reward spot. They're all in that group. At stage 1, they finished 2nd. They went 10-4 in total over their 2 weeks. That's not bad. I think they had 2 of their losses were to Rise, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what can you do about that? They're just playing super hot. Methods is unreal right now. Not a whole lot you can do about that. Envy, they kind of have the opposite situation. At the start of the game, they were looking a little slow. The hype around that roster it was there. There was plenty of hype. Everyone wanted them to be good. And then they were kind of a letdown early on. They didn't really get it together. I don't think they knew how to play with each other on boots yet. And it was a learning experience. But they've put it together. They've played great at stage 2. They placed 7th through 8th, I think, at the first event. Them and LG were in that same tier. At Dallas, they kind of stumbled again, that 9th through 12th spot as well. I mean, New Orleans, I think, is going to be their worst event on this year, if I had to predict. Now that we've seen them, have that little bit of a stumble, they got 4th in Atlanta. Like I said, they closed out stage 2 very strong, finishing 3rd. They went 8-5 overall. I think they're a really good team. I think Slasher is guaranteed top 3 player right now. He's unreal. And they're doing a lot of things right. They're getting it together. And I believe it was Hook that was talking about knowing how to play this game and how it's very different from other Call of Duties. And you can't just take the same style you've been using. And I think that applies very much to them. And they're adapting. They're not letting that stump them. Next, you've got Reckless, which is the old Arrow roster. I don't see these guys doing too hot in this pool. They've beat Optic a couple of times. And you know they're a decent team. But I just don't see them really putting it together. A couple of these dudes in Ricky, Pharaoh, Decimate, they've been together for a while now, a couple of events. I think Ricky was with TT. They got like the 13th or 16th slot. Pharaoh and Blast were on GZ and they got like top 12. Decimate was also top 12 with Enigma 6, if I'm not mistaken. Next event, this roster came together without Blast. I don't remember who they had in this place, but 9th through 12th, again, not too shocking. They're not an amazing team. They're not a bad team. Somewhere in the middle of the road. And then 13th through 16th at Atlanta with this full roster. And they did finish alongside Splice and Unilad, who, like I said, they're not bad teams. I do think those are three pretty middle-of-the-road teams right now. So they're not necessarily bad. They finished 6th at Stage 1 in Group A. They could be doing worse for themselves right now. They did not necessarily have a great Group A, but they showed potential. They showed signs that they can beat and hang with the best competition. They just have to consistently do that. I think they need more runs. They let themselves get behind pretty often. And I don't think we've ever seen a team use score streaks worse than these guys. I'm just going to be upfront about it. That's something that has to change if they want to start competing and really closing out some of those games. EG, another team that I think has potential to be elite, but have been all season another middle-of-the-road team, which is crazy when you think about who's on that roster and the kind of star power they have. But they're getting better. They need to learn how to close. They get behind at hardpoint pretty often. They play 17th through 20th at Dallas, which I think is their stumble of the year. I think they're over that. And then back-to-back 7th through 8th placings at NOLA and Atlanta. I think FaZe finished there with them the first time. TK finished with them the next. And they got 7th at Stage 1 in Group B. That's not great, but I don't know that it's a lack of consistency or if it was just figuring out how to play this game. I think these guys are great players. I just don't think that they knew how to coexist on this game yet, but they're here. They're getting there. It's coming together. This could be the event. If they start out hot in this pool, I don't know what the schedule looks like. I might have more information on that on Friday, but if they win their first game and get off to a good start, this could be the pool that really sets things up for EG, because I don't think Envy or Optic are unbeatable here, but I do think they are going to be the top two teams. I mean, obviously they're the teams to beat in the pool, but even beyond that, maybe you get lucky and you get a worse team as your open bracket that slides in, and so maybe EG beats the open bracket team in Era. Then you still have Optic and Envy, and really you have to get a win over one of those guys if you want to come out of the pool. If you don't take one of them down, your chances are slim. Because, I mean, what are you going to do? If you lose both of those games, there's not much you're really going to do, because it doesn't look like they're going to lose to... Maybe Optic loses to Era, but I don't see it happening again. Not for, a third time now. Envy, I think they're motivated. I think their own improvement is enough for them to say, okay, this is the event. We have to put our stamp on this game. And so I think EG will probably finish behind the two of them, but ahead of the other two teams. But that does depend on who gets put in that pool from open bracket. But really, I just don't see a way that works out other than that. They could prove me wrong, though. Maybe Era comes out and is a lot hotter than I expected. Who knows? But that's just the way I see it. I like EG a lot. I wish they were playing better in this game, because I would love to root for Nameless and Apathy and Enable. Not a big Aches fan, just because we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things in Call of Duty. But hey, like I said, I like the team. Just wish that they were closing out games and doing a little bit better for themselves this year. Some stuff I wanted to touch on before I end the video. If Optic hasn't found a rhythm with the new roles, if Formal is not back at that top AR spot, he's not comfortable with it yet, and they don't, or even if he is there, but the team doesn't know how to play around that yet, this is Envy's pool to win. Because like I said, they're on a steady incline. They're getting better and better. Optic making this change right after the last event in Atlanta. It's going to be hard to get it to, perfection at that point. You've only had a few days. So, really, it's up in the air on if Optic will be ready to go. If they are, I think they take the number 1 spot. If they're not ready to go, then it's Envy's to win. But even in the confusion, I just don't see them losing a full series to EG or Era. Maybe EG gets hot and makes it very close. Don't see it happening. Era, we know, can beat them. We've seen it happen. But will it happen on LAN at this event? I don't know. Like I said, I know it's possible. I know that they have beat them in the past. But beating a team once or twice, it's hard. It gets harder. But beating them a third time, that's going to be pretty crazy if you're not miles ahead of them in this game, and that's just not the case here. As far as that, and I know I've been calling them Era, it's reckless, I'm sorry. Old habits die hard. As far as that reckless team goes, if they put it together and play against everyone else like they do Optic, they have a great shot. I just don't see it happening, really. S&D, you would think would be like their super strong point, and they still haven't found a real niche in it yet. They're okay, they're good at it, but you would expect them to be one of the top 2 or 3 teams in Search, and they just haven't been that this year. And I think that's something that they've needed and need to work. That's something that they've needed and should be working on improving through the rest of the year if they want to have any shot at making a run at later events or champs or whatever the case. But really, that's all I've got for today, guys. Come back tomorrow for Pool D. I'll be breaking that down, giving my thoughts on that, providing a few little stat updates like I did this video. After that, on Friday, I'll be bringing my entire event predictions out as well. Kind of giving my thoughts on everything before the event starts. Probably uploading that around 12 or so that day. And then there's a Fortnite video coming out after that as just kind of a something fun for me to do, because I won't really have much content to put out on Friday. I've been building this event prediction video for the entire week, so all of that's put together. I just have to record it, which isn't that hard. And I've been really loving Fortnite. Pretty much everyone I know has been loving Fortnite. So yeah, I mean, might as well, do something a little different, give myself a break, like I said yesterday. But if you liked what you saw here today, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any suggestions or want to hear me talk about anything or break anything down, you can either leave it here in the comments, or you can follow me on Twitter at CounterCap, spelled the exact same way as it is on your screen right now, just minus the TV.